welcome to day 9 of the 6-month Life Transformation Chronicle. I am David Boucher, and I told you that my friends would make an appearance here. This year is Tango, and he is one of the perks of getting to work from home is getting to spend time with him. So before I jump into the topic of today's video, I just want to ask how the baby steps are going. If you've gone for the whole 9 days, fantastic. I think you've probably gotten a lot done. If you haven't, it's never too late to start. But working under the assumption that if you've been following these videos regularly, you have been taking these steps every day, I'd like to challenge you to just up that a little bit. So I suppose I can keep calling them baby steps or just call them steps, steps towards reaching your goals. But, it's great to take those little actions. And if that's all you have time for, then go for it. It's still better than nothing. But as you progress and you start to build momentum and really get an idea of what it is that you have to do to reach your goal, the more you can do, the better, obviously. So just keep taking those steps, and as usual, keep letting everyone know if you're comfortable with it in the comments section below of what it is you're achieving. Okay, so topic of today's video is very important for anyone looking to freelance, and really anyone, period, and that is sales, right? So if you look at business, obviously there's a lot of sales going on, but if you look at life, there's a lot of sales going on. I had to sell this plan to my wife, right? Or at work, you're trying to sell your course of action versus someone else. So the idea of selling is really important. And those of you who were born around the same time I was and were 90s babies definitely remember the classic song from the New Radicals, "You get what you give," and that I think is a crucial piece of the sales process. So what I'm going to do is, I want to try to keep this short, but I want to cover 2 aspects of how I look at the sales process. And keep in mind, I'm still trying to figure a lot of this out myself, but so far what I've been applying has been working, and so hopefully you can take something from this as well. So the first part is, when I worked at an oilfield services job, I met a guy who I think might have been one of the best salesmen I've ever met in my life. Very confident, got results, and he sat me down one day and he said, "David, there's 3 rules that you have to remember when it comes to selling. First is that no one wants to be sold to, they want to buy," which makes sense, right? No one wants to go anywhere and feel like they've had something pushed onto them. Second one is that people don't buy the product, they don't buy the salesman. So people don't buy the product, they buy the salesman. So the idea there being, no one is going to buy from you if they don't trust you. Vice versa, if someone trusts you and you have a prior relationship with them, they will buy from you. Third one is a little bit more self-serving, and that is, don't let your inhibitions become those of the customer. Which basically means that people get so hung up on, oh my gosh, am I charging too much? Am I ripping the customer off? He was just saying, look, like, if the customer is happy paying, call it $10,000, and it only costs you $2,000 to make, but there's still value there, going back to one of my earlier videos on value, then go for it. You're not forcing anyone to pay any number, right? You've done your job. They're presumably educated and have done theirs, and so shake hands and deliver the product. So those are the 3 things. Everyone wants to buy, they don't want to be sold to. No one buys the product, they buy the salesman. And then don't let your inhibitions become those of the customer. So I can't say I've had much experience with the third. I'm still in the sales process there, but certainly the first 2 is I never try and be pushy, and I always try and put my best foot forward and show people what they're going to get if they do buy my services as a product. Which leads me to the next part, which is you only get what you give. So the way we went through the sales process at the consulting firm before was that obviously you first have to get your meeting, your at-bat. So that comes down to networking, referrals, that type of thing. Then what you do is you sit down with someone for, call it an hour, and you just sort of talk to them about their business, what their role is. But really you're trying to probe specifically for things that need doing, right? So the idea there is that maybe they're losing money and they don't know why, sales have been declining, pick any problem. And so what you then do is you say, well, you know what, like, we can't obviously give our work away, but if you're comfortable, just share with us a little bit of data, or just tell us anything that's really been bothering you, and we'll go take a look. And so we would then go and spend, a day or so putting something together from what they gave us or from public sources, and we go back and present it to them, right? And at that point, I would say you're probably 90% of the way there, because if you've done your diligence, you're showing them A, that you understand their problem, B, that you do good work, and C, hopefully in doing this you've uncovered even more things they didn't know about, and so you've sort of created a need for these services you're selling. But the point is that it goes back to you paying attention and then giving something first to hopefully get something on the back end. Because sure, maybe it does lead to a sale, but maybe it doesn't, and you've just given away a lot of time, right? So there is always that risk. But it's almost certain that if you don't make that investment, you won't get anything back, because people will say, they don't really know my business. Who are these guys? What do they know? So by putting this investment into someone, you are giving them a comfort factor that then says, okay, I can hire you. Now, the reason I'm bringing this topic up today is because pretty much right after I'm filming this video, I've got a meeting with someone. I had a referral from the article, which as usual I'll post in the comments. So he got in touch with me. We talked. He was having some issues with something in his business. I said, okay, let me take a look at that. And I'm happy to report that after spending, in fact, at least 8 hours working on it and several days thinking about it, he loved it. And so the meeting is going to happen after this. Hopefully, he's happier with the updates I've made, and we can take it to the next level. So I'll hopefully have some great news for you guys in tomorrow's video. But just to wrap this up and keep things brief as usual, those are just kind of my views on selling. And I think that if you kind of think about how you adapt those, not just to selling a product, but selling your ideas and just selling influence to those around you, I think what you'll find is that it does actually work pretty well in those contexts as well. So with that, I just want to say, thank you as always for watching. Please do like and share these if you find them interesting. Suggest also topics in the comment section below. I want to encourage you to keep taking those steps. I think it's fantastic if you stuck with it so far. And I will see you guys tomorrow for day 10. Thank you so much.